The views expressed in the interviews and commentary are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of PPS Holdings Trust, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or employees.
So for you to be able to go through the year, it's a muscle that you need to exercise. And look, sometimes you'll overlap, sometimes you'll fall back and feel like, ish, this month I couldn't. But it's about failing and trying again. Remind yourself again and remind the people around you so they can hold you accountable to say, we are changing the way we're doing things. In my house, at some point, we swiped over 4,000 rands for groceries. I still don't know what was there that made it over 4,000 rands. And we had to sit down and think, okay, so now we are here. How do we make it better?
Wait.
Because then
Where did this happen in where?
Sorry?
You said in my house.
Yeah.
I like the way you said it.
In my
house.
Yeah.
You catch me.
Yeah,
You catch me.
To that point, CPM, I want to ask about, sometimes when we go back home, we're seen as moreki. We're seen as the bringer of December, the bringer of the Christmas owner, right? So, what is that like? And what happens when you're in a situation, and I want you to go first, Debza. What happens when you're in a situation where you're ill or you're injured and you can't earn your money? What are those things that you can do to make sure that you can still maintain your image as the big bowler, as the Moreki, right? What are those things that you can do and put in place and still enjoy your December?
Yeah, like Tipo and Spear said, your body, and in this case, your brain, because if you get injured, you can't work.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. So come December time, you the big bowler, maybe you left with 1,000 rand, you lost 1,000 rand in your bank account because you bought Christmas presents and everything. But if you have insurance in place, should you become sick during that time, then it will cover you. Then you don't need to reach in your pockets, go to those savings that you put down for an important time. Your insurance is there for you. Should you become sick and not be able to work for a certain period, it might be from November until January, then you know you're covered. So I think that's a point we're trying to drive home, that responsibility doesn't start in December. We don't think about it only in December. We must think about it during the year, have policies and insurance in place that should something happen to me, I can take care of my loved ones. And it's not just when I die. It needs to be when I'm still alive. What am I doing for my family? As a breadwinner, as a moreki, as a Christmas bearer. What am I doing for them that should something happen to me, they are covered. They don't need to worry. We can still enjoy Christmas as we did. So there's policies in place that we need to take out to ensure that we're covered.
Debs, I think your point is especially important for people who are self-employed.
Yeah.
We are in the gig economy. Everybody is
Hustler.
their own boss.
Yeah.
I report to nobody but myself.
I write my own check.
That's all great. Now you are sick all to yourself. Now you can't work all to yourself. What happens in that instance? And I think that's the responsibility that we need to start having for our lives and for our work and for our income, to say, I need to be able to protect me first, because everybody has school fees, everybody has December, everybody has, I'm the source of, I'm the income for everybody else. But what's the income for me if I can't do my normal work?
And also, as you were talking about self-employed people, they have a business. They need to make sure that their business continues without them. There's business expenses that don't stop. So they need to ensure that those are covered while they're still recovering. You don't want to recover and then be worried about your bills, your business bills being paid. You want to ensure that that continues even when you're sick, because they don't stop in December. Or
have to be at work when you're not well.
Exactly.
Because you don't have a plan or you don't have a backup. I think those are things we don't think about enough, to say, how do I protect that?
And how does our relationships with financial advisors and brokers come in? Because then this is the time that they could also help us to manage our monies. If you are self-employed or if you are a freelancer, if you're a student, how does your financial advisor then come in and introduce you to the products that will actually speak to what you need? We don't actually have a consistent or persistent relationships with our advisors. We only speak to them when we want to change.
Do we even have them? I think
Do
that's
we
where the
even have
conversation
them?
is.
Yeah.
I think
Do
for
we
so,
even have them?
for so long we think you need to have a set. Once I get my first million,
Yes.
you know, all the, all the
Yes.
YouTubers. I think last year
Yeah.
went on and did videos of how I made my first million.
million.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Where-
how was I making millions?
Where's my
I
million?
watched I watched about 10 of them, and I didn't
Yeah.
really know. I didn't get to the how the million was made.
Yeah.
It was almost as if people are telling me now I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
But I'm like, a lot of us think you need that kind of money
Yeah.
to have a financial advisor or to have somebody that helps you manage your money, you know,
Yeah.
or manage your finances.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to understand that a lot of people that get to having the million is because they had a financial advisor in
Yes.
place. And that's the
Yes.
conversation we don't have.
Yeah.
Don't.
That it's for anybody that's wanting to take care of your financial well-being.
Yeah.
We all have personal trainers. Personal trainers have become the thing.
The thing,
Yeah.
yes.
You go to gym and you see me and Debza, you
Yeah.
know, there
Yeah.
with Pay, who's telling us 10. And I love that for us,
Yeah.
for our health, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you think about how wellness has, how long, the long way that wellness has come,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it used to be only a few people, if you want to be a scorer, then you
Yeah.
go to the
Yes.
gym.
Yeah.
Then the gym became for everybody.
Yes.
Then when we were in the gym, we were exposed to personal trainers. Like,
Yes.
oh, even
Yes.
I can get a personal trainer.
Yes.
I think we need the same revelation
Yes.
when
Yes.
it comes to our finances. Too.
Yes.
Like advisors are your personal
Your
trainer.
financial
your-
doctor.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
help you build your financial muscle. Because
Correct.
it doesn't come easy.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't come overnight.
It
And it
doesn't.
certainly doesn't come in the 2 weeks of December.
It
Absolutely
doesn't.
not.
But most people actually think that financial advisory or just getting somebody to sort of speak to you in terms of how to plan your life costs money, like initially. That maybe that's what people are afraid of. Is like, this financial advisor, I don't have like 100 right now. How can I afford to get somebody to, give me financial advice? But it's a perfect example, and I love the fact that you brought it in, because you have to think of yourself as,
Yes.
like, this is how I see financial advisory. You are a house. You have plumbing, you have all these things that is going on. Your financial advisor is that project plan, the project manager that makes
Yeah.
sure that this house stays afloat. They'll tell you that, okay, your plumbing has got a problem. If you put extra income on it,
Yes.
put it there. Now, once you start seeing yourself as
It's a very
mkuku,
nice
and you are
Yes.
still building, you're going to get to a double story, and you need somebody to help you manage that project of you getting there.
Correct.
Then you'll understand the need and the purpose of having a financial advisor, because what they'll do is give you the right journey, plan it out for you, show you that this is where, and then chances are, come on, you'll be a Mureki forever.
Yeah,
'Cause
and in
imagine that's
fact,
what you
they'll
build it
tell
for.
you what products you actually have.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're paying for insurance. You don't know that you can claim if you are unwell or you are not working. You don't know that if you're booked off, you have this product that you can call your insurance because you haven't gone through the T's and C's of your actual insurance. And your advisor is there. He or she's supposed to know this because that's their expertise.
Yeah.
So they can sit down and be like, hey, this is what you're doing. Do you have travel insurance? This is the cheapest. This is the most efficient. They can give you a comprehensive feedback in terms of how to go about and actually maybe reduce some of your premiums. So by the time December comes, maybe you have some cashback plans or some, some loyalty
Stash
plan.
Money.
Hey,
Rainy days.
rainy day. Now your rainy day has its own rainy day money. So you don't know until you go and you consult your financial doctor and you're like, I'm not unwell, but I don't want to get unwell.
Yeah.
How do I keep healthy? You know?
It's a very good
Financial
one.
doctor.
Yeah.
It's an actual good one because
so smart.
we seem to only go to these institutions at the end when we feel like there's a crisis.
Bankruptcy.
And I can actually check in with my advisor every other time. Have conversations like this. Have conversations with your advisor. Have conversations like these. And it's nicer with the advisor because they know my financial needs. They know what I'm bringing in. They
Yes.
know what my prospective plans are. So they can tailor everything to each level that I'm in. Maybe I'm this tier, going to the next year. How do you show up right here as a person who's already here? So that we can start changing mindset. You don't find yourself thinking you are mkuku. And we need to start thinking, okay, I'm a 4-room house. I might still be in a mkuku situation, but I'm looking at a 4-room house as my next tier. So how do I prepare myself here? How do I change my thinking? How do I change my habits right now?
Yes.
So that when I get there, I don't squander everything because now I feel like, this is a new place for me. Let me just splurge everything. Always treat it as if you deserve to be there so that by the time you're there, you're comfortable and you're now preparing for the next one.
Yeah. But I think another point, I like the house analogy because the house has plumbing, electrical, there's bricks, there's all of
many
these stuff that's
components.
happening in the house. So a financial advisor is a person that will take you life risk. You need life risk insurance. You'll need
Yes.
short-term insurance. You'll need medical aid, and then put it for you,
Yes.
tailor it for you and your needs. Because I could think of medical aid maybe, but I didn't think I need life insurance. I didn't think I need short-term insurance. So have a conversation with my advisor, and investments also. Having a conversation with my advisor will show me where the gaps are. He or she will be able to identify
Yes.
what mechanisms I need to put in place for me to be sharp.
And there's reductions, like for real. You mentioned, like, I saved on one of the policies I took with a new mutual. So I had life insurance where I was paying double the amount. And when
Yeah.
I saw the offering from the other
Yeah.
provider, which my financial advisor made me aware of,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, cancel that one. Like, let's not even have a conversation.
see?
Let me take
Yeah.
that 200 rand
But we don't
and
know.
put it there.
Yeah.
You
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
That's
consult.
exactly
Yeah.
how I felt.
That's why we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that we can know what we know and what we don't.
Yes.
Correct.
I want to push this question or this moment to the audience and ask, does anybody here have any comment or question about? Well,
That was quick.
okay. Okay, let's start with Sis T.
Hi everyone. I'm one of those mother-in-laws who still believe in the, those taps that are polished with a brasso. So come December, I want the Makoti who will clean the house, and I must rest because I'm also a career woman.
Sure.
So when you come to the rural, your KZN, your Eastern Cape, the Makotis work so hard in December. Do you have a support structure of your spouse who will stand firm and tell his family that not my wife? Someone who will say not now, not here. Because if he doesn't do that, you're going to become a PPS problem when you come back. I thank you.
Yeah.
I think your shoulders are broad. Your shoulders carry it. Carry it.
I think it's a good one. We can tie it back
That's
to
a
the
very good
conversation we were having earlier about taking care of your health.
Yes.
Because if you are overworked, you work in your day job, your corporate job, or you're self-employed, and then you go back home, now you're Makoti, and then it's another job as well. How we need to find balance in
Yes.
that December holiday time is rest time.
For everyone.
You and your partner need to have a conversation before you go to mom-in-law.
Yes.
If mom-in-law is as strict and as strict as you are, you need to have a conversation and say, this year we want to rest. We want to go see the family, but we want to rest. And we want to spend time with the family. How about we bring external help? Some
Yes.
sort of way.
Yes.
We put this in our budget earlier on the year to say, when we go home in December, we will bring in external help to help us so that we can rest. But it's something we plan for. It's something that we need to have a conversation about, also with our financial advisor, to plan for, save some money towards getting extra help. Because it might be more expensive to get somebody in December, unlike throughout the year.
Yeah. No, I was going to say this conversation always goes back to you and your relationship with
Yes.
money
Yes.
and planning. Because if you don't have a relationship with your money and your budget and foresight of what might come up, then you end up having to go polish the tap because there's nobody else who's there to do it. I'll make an example. So I'm the only daughter-in-law in my husband's side of the family. So the pressure that you're talking about all falls on me because there's
Yes.
nobody else.
I can imagine.
But my sister-in-law, so my brother's wife, was like, girl, you must be here. You must be smart. When we have gatherings and family,
Yeah.
and we're going to slaughter and there's like 100 vegetables that need to be peeled, we bring a food processor. We
I was
bought
about to say.
an industrial food
Yes.
processor. But that thing costs money.
New age.
You don't just wake up and like go spend 4,500 rand on that, you know? But it's small things like that that you budget for that you can also cover in your short-term insurance, because what happens when it breaks?
Exactly.
But when people are there and they're like, Makoti will come do the vegetables, I'm like, okay. And then I come up and I show up with a helper. And for hours, people listen to but the carrots will be grated because that's what they want.
Yes.
So it's having the financial foresight to plan and to budget and to know what things you need, to know what our struggle is today.
Yeah.
Because akusana society,
Yes.
akusana bomme batlang ba tlo phega, so we need to
Yes.
find ways
Facts.
to be able to support that.
But also to
Yeah.
find a way to put your foot down to say, not my partner.
Yeah.
That's a
Imagine
I know,
we have to
but
do dumplings and I bring a stand mixer.
Like, but
Sitap understands. No, it doesn't work like that.
I like Sis Tuli's question because it's something I can relate to. I grew up as the boy that did that at home because we had those brasso things, not just the tap, like ornaments that also stayed.
Yeah.
It was actually a
The
fun
window
thing. Now that I
handles.
think of it, I've got nostalgia and I'm like, ooh, the smell, that like it's proper.
No, thank you.
But there's a huge but here where I say that, like this is what my mother told me, that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
My mother
Yeah.
was not treated well.
That's good.
Like in her, and I can say this out loud because it's facts, in her marital home. So she didn't want to impose the very same
I like
trauma
that.
on another kid.
I like that.
Yeah.
So when my wife came, it was like, you are my daughter, you are not here to. If my son cannot do what I ask you to do, then
Then
why do I
you
expect you
shouldn't.
to do
I
it?
like
Yeah.
that.
So I didn't have to put my foot down. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Thank
thank
you,
you, Mama. But
Mama.
at the end of the day, I still wash dishes. And
Like
I enjoyed it. So I didn't have to, and yeah.
I like that.
My
I
wife,
hear you.
if you're watching,
He got you.
no,
Be watching.
no, she knows that she's also like she takes
Yeah.
like she's the one that shows up. At
Yeah.
times you don't have to tell people to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll show up for you, and
Yeah.
that's because they
Yeah.
care. So if you are slack Mama Zala, then chances are
Change
they
your
won't
ways.
visit,
Dis-
and the
disclaimer.
holidays will be in Mauritius.
Disclaimer, all Mama Zalas
Oh,
are loved and appreciated.
oh yes,
Yeah.
oh, love.
Equally.
So loved.
We are also not giving
Love
relationship
them.
advice
My-
and
We love
family
it
advice.
so much.
My friends and I have a thing where whenever there's something that happens at any one of our places, we actually bring a team of people. Depending, so the person who's having the ntlungu does nothing, ne? The
Yeah.
others bring the team,
Nice.
and then there'll be a team of washing, of cooking, of
Nice.
Outsourcing.
It goes back.
Exactly.
But
Community.
yeah.
But it also
Yeah.
goes back to that question that was asked earlier. Yeah, like when you said like-minded people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in terms
Yes.
of
Community,
that
yes.
like I love the fact that you guys show up and
Yeah.
as like Abantabasha or the youth, because I'm not there anymore. Youth ends at 35, by the way, just so that we all know.
I'm still used.
Yeah.
You're part of us. You're part of us.
Yeah, so
You're
just
part of us.
as youth, those are some of the discussions that you should be having
Yes.
as friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, like you mentioned it earlier as well, to say that some will be splurging and everything else, find a way to plan it throughout the year so that when something happens, then you guys have that. But that's brilliant, eh?
Brilliant.
So we've got another
Catering.
question.
Hi, everyone. So you spoke a bit about the importance of having a financial planner. So as a young person, how do I go about finding one? If you can just give me tips of how to find a financial planner.
That is a brilliant question.
Yeah.
Because,
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And it
don't,
has
don't
us-
go don't go into social media.
Wait for it.
I know this will probably be on social media, but
But don't go on social
on
media.
social
find a
media
social-
and listen to
Yeah.
somebody telling you how to be a go to a registered institution first and foremost.
Yeah.
The best way you find a financial advisor is by looking for products that you might think you want.
Yes.
And once you see something that, let's say income protection, like you want that, look for simple search on the internet. Once you find that, it will give you suppliers that are there. And then chances are the first one that you call will probably be the one that you don't go for. But do your research.
Yeah.
Look for that. And there are people that are out there. Financial advisors work on commission. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're also salespeople. They'll find you.
Yeah.
So once you put a lead to something that you're interested in,
Yes.
these are people that it is their bread and butter. However, their best interest is making sure that you're taken care of.
Yeah.
So the longer they keep you where they signed you, the more they gain from it. You're not paying them to take the products. You're actually getting, and this, my financial advisor is brilliant. Like, she's brilliant. I'm not going to mention about coffee, once in a while we sit down. And how I found her was just, there was a gap, and I was like, okay, there's a new product that I'm looking for. And that's how I found it. And the institution then said, one of our financial advisors will contact you.
I was going to say with that point, you need to first find a credible institution.
Yes.
And an institution that meets your
needs.
You know what I
yes.
mean? The insurance industry might seem like a sea of sameness, but it's not. They are the cream of the crop, that you can find
Yeah.
based on,
Love it.
because again, insurance is more than what if, or should I die?
Yes.
Once you look beyond that to say, okay, let's say for argument's sake, everybody offered the same, they call their products the same thing. What about this insurer A stands out from insurer B? And what do I want for myself as a person, as a potential customer to them, and are they able to offer me that? You know what I mean? Because there's brilliant institutions out there that are exclusive, and they're exclusive for a reason, you know, and their products in the market may be unmatched. So it's about doing research and getting in contact with the correct institutions. That contact me page on the website
Yeah.
is
It's
probably
there for
the easiest way to get somebody to call you back and to have a conversation. But you must also be willing to invest the time.
Yes.
I think that's very important. You
Yes.
must also
Yes.
be willing to invest the time in to listen and to, because insurance is intimidating. I don't know if it's just me.
It
It
is.
It's very intimidating.
is.
And
It
because
is.
of that, it's very often you sign something and you don't deal with it. And you hope and pray that the day you have to claim,
It's
they will pay your
covered.
claim.
Also,
Yeah.
you don't know the benefits that you
This
have.
is
Yeah.
exactly. This is why people go and party and then drive drunk when
Oh.
they shouldn't. You know, the conversation we're having earlier on. So when you've got an advisor, then they are able to take away that intimidating language and explain things simply and tell you what you've got. It's somebody that you can WhatsApp, somebody that you can have coffee with, like Sapa was saying.
Your advisor is your
So
friend.
find the right, a credible institution that has the offering that meets your needs or that piques your interest to say, ooh, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I looking for as a customer? And does this brand meet those needs? And then if they do, and you know, right now research says we're discerning clients.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
People don't just want anything.
Yeah.
Does the brand's values
Yes.
match my values?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
we're all green and
Does
we're all
their
equal. We're
brand
all about
match my brand?
sustainability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they for that?
Do they meet my
Yes.
standards?
Exactly.
Yes.
So once you found somebody that meets your standards, chances are they have financial advisors that can help you. And it's as simple as that. You don't have to pay.
Yeah.
If you have
That's
to
the
pay
thing.
your advisor from your pocket,
Ah.
scam.
But the other thing, maybe to drive the point about standards, once you've obtained this advisor and it goes a year and he's ghosted you, call the institution to find a new advisor.
Yes.
Or she, sorry, or she. Call the institution to find a new advisor, because I think you need to have a close relationship with your advisor. This is somebody who's dealing with your finances, your health. So they need to understand on the day, not the daily, but maybe the monthly.
Yeah.
They need to know what's happening with you, your money. Are you still okay? Do you need more cover? Have you been promoted at work? Have you fallen sick? Is there a possibility of a claim here? So if a year goes by without speaking to your advisor, I would suggest calling the institution and asking for a new advisor.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you, guys.
Good one.
Did we cover everything? Is there something else? Did you get it all out?
Did we cover everything?
Oh, something else. When
Yeah,
you
We didn't.
for those who are young scholars, even if you're doing your matric, whatever, know that the young ones never think of such things because they're thinking of matric dances. But you can also, when you turn 18, prioritize it. You go to your bank or whatever
Yes.
bank you have. They can appoint an advisor, and this is where you actually need to start that muscle of getting into the relationship with your money. Having an advisor when you're that young, even if you only have 1,000 or 500 in your account, it's fine. Or if it's a non-tax or non-interest account, that's also fine. But just having sort of like an awareness of your money and how you want to manage your money, having an intention before you start working, before you start getting that bursary, before all of those things start to come and fall on your lap and you need to manage it, you start there at going to your bank.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Start
Yeah.
young.
Thank you,
I
ladies
think we
and
covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Got it.
Awesome.
Covered everything.
Beautiful.